Good morning. Happy Friday. We are back at it. We got some hoops to talk about, and maybe that's it. Who knows? Well, let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What is up, everybody? I'll be honest, but Veronica doesn't get enough credit for that intro because this is how I know it's a good intro. I am on fumes this morning. I don't feel sharp. I feel tired. I even had the thought of I don't want to do this morning. And then dun 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 dun. The beat starts. The bass is hitting a little bit. It's slapping the bass, man. Once that starts happening, we're back. We're vibing. I'm awake. I'm ready to rock and roll. There is a truck that's been backing up for about an hour and a half right outside my apartment. I love New York. Welcome to the Big Apple. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm furious. Okay, let's see who's here. Epic Nico, Stubbs, good morning. Gershot, good morning. Snapealope, good morning. Yeah, shout out to those who tuned into Top Shot Tony Spaces. Can you hear the beeping? It just stopped. It just stopped. Yeah, shout out to those who tuned into Tony's Spaces yesterday. Honestly, it was probably a C- performance. It wasn't my best stuff. It wasn't Tony's best stuff, excuse me, but we had fun. D-Lo's here. Borland, almost the weekend. Luka Magic from our man Top Shot Comment. T-Man is here. Josh Ness, what's up? Willis, what's up? Yeah, we can talk about that. Dude, shut up. Those dynamic moments came out. Those are pretty sick. I'm not going to buy anything, but they look pretty sick. Please welcome to the stage Naked XYZ. Shout out Naked XYZ. Who else? We got Chuck and Fergs here. It's the big face cop. Veronica, full stop. I'm saving it for this weekend. I haven't had any yet. Good morning, stateside. Good afternoon, Europe. There you go. No, we can't ever hear your background noise. I know you normally can't. That was really loud, though. It was really loud this morning. All right, so we got a good one today. We'll talk some basketball. We'll talk a little bit of everything. Let me just give you how my night went. I'll let you know how my night went. I didn't want to do playback, guys. I was tired. Kelsey had to work an overnight at where she works, so I was like, let's go grab a drink. We'll get a burger. I actually had a meatloaf burger. I was risky last night. Tried some different stuff and it was really, really good. And I watched the game and I had a nice time watching the game. Nobody talked to me. And that is true. That's how I can tell I'm getting older, but I also love it. You get me to a bar that's not super full and no one talks to me for an hour and a half. It's great news. I had a really nice time. I came home. I was like, I took the dog for a walk. It's let's watch some of the Lakers Mavericks game. We probably won't stay up for all of it. We'll fall asleep in the third quarter. I couldn't figure out why I woke up, but I did wake up right with 5 seconds left when Luka hits a step back three to tie the game. And I was like, whoa, what great timing. That's sick timing to wake up. I love that. And then I was like, man, but it's so weird that I woke up. And then it's because I think my neighbors were like, and I'm not talking about dancing. I'm not talking, it was you know what I'm saying? And it was really loud. And then I don't know. It went on for a while and it made me think I don't know. Good on them. Like it went on for because I can't think of doing anything for the amount of time that they did that for. It went on long enough that I was like, maybe I'm wrong, and what I'm thinking is going on right now. Anyways, I was up for a while after that. So I got to watch the double overtime game. And then I listened to like 2 hours of podcasts because I couldn't fall back asleep. So that was my night. That was my night. Mike says, how's the shoulder in the back? It's feeling a little bit better today, a little bit looser, which is nice. So I can feel like I can move around a little bit, get a little bit of nurse. Anyone, let's keep going. Next stop, moving to the suburbs and yelling at kids off your lawn. I would love that, man. I would love that. We probably are like 2 years away from getting out of the shit here. Who knows though? All right, let's dive in. I don't congrats. Yeah, exactly what like I'm booked. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Again, long enough that I thought it was something else. All right, let's dive in. So we're gonna go over last night's NBA action as we do. Reminder too, today at 4 o'clock, we're gonna have old Dustin, making a return to the stream. Gonna just shoot the poop for an hour or so. And then we'll have live before lock at 5:30 with our guy Noom. Noom's going to join the show, I believe. I got to double check him though, but we'll do a little live before lock. We'll dive into the So Rare slate. So that's today's action. As always, if you haven't liked the stream and subscribed to the channel, yeah, honestly, what are you doing? Like, go ahead, do that. Go share it. We're still cooking. We had just did a little refresh. Wow, we had hit 7,400 and then one person unsubscribed. So we were at 7,399. So we love to see it. We keep moving along. So yeah, hell yeah. If you haven't checked out our little oversubscribe campaign that we're doing, I pinned a chat. I pinned the link in the chat. So go take a look at that. That is to grow along with us as we're continuing to moon, as Team Hold continues to moon. So just come join. Right now you're not like committing to anything. It's just getting a feeling for like what the interest level is for something like this so that we can get a better understanding on, what we can do. So the information is helpful. So if you haven't taken a second to fill it out, it's like 2 questions. It takes like 2 seconds. It would really go a long way for my brain. All right, you guys, we're ready to talk. Yes, Snoop Loop says, I'm assuming your neighbors are just putting together some furniture. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it this morning. I guess it depends how quickly we get through some stuff. But John Boy had a very interesting thread about like Top Shot and So Rare, and then that kind of inspired me on the Team Hold account to just like put, because I've asked this question here, but you guys all know, you're all in on it. Just like, what does Top Shot content look like? And some of the responses were pretty interesting. I think it's the assumption that some of these that collectors are relying, or not relying, but think it's like content creators' job to like market. And so it's kind of interesting to get people's perspective of what they think content looks like. But anyways, recommend looking at those replies on the Team Hold account if you haven't done it yet. I found it a little bit interesting. And then, there's a couple of trolls in there, but Trolley's going to troll, baby. Trolley's going to troll. PG not playing screwed me in limited champ. Allen and Wood both popped. I know that. He got that hammy, though. It's scary to play someone with a bad hammy. Let's get into some of the basketball, and then we'll see where the day takes us. I know you're probably like, are we starting with Lakers Mavs? No, we're going to let it go. Curious that Mike abandoned Top Shot after getting married. Top Shot equals extroversion. So Rare equals full sex. See, Dustin, I don't think a lot of people have thought about it like that. I also like that you and my parents both believe that I waited until marriage. So, A+ comment, Dustin. Also, good to see Dustin. Dustin comes in and out every little once in a while, drops a bomb. We love to see it. Good to see you in there, man. Okay, let's start with OKC Sixers. We're gonna go in order. SGA, dude. SGA was popping. I shared a short last night of him just like cooking Harden. I don't know how people stay in front of him these days. It's funny too because he doesn't seem like he's a super athlete, just like flying by everybody. But man, he's tough to stay in front of. He went for 37, 8, and 6. Giddey went for 20 and 8. Embiid went for 30 and 10. And then Harden 24, 15 and 6. But OKC gets the W in Philly, 133-114. OKC continues to be scrappy, y'all. They continue to be scrappy. Good win for the Thunder. I don't freak out about the Sixers. I'm like, the Sixers are still a good team. They just, I think the Thunder are scrappy, man. Thunder is a scrappy team. SGA is a baller. SGA is about to make an all-star team. I'm excited. Excited for Skeets, who's been yelling it for like 6 years that SGA should make an all-star team. I'm glad it's happening. And they're fun. And they do. So they start both of the Jay Wills. I think they combined for 25 points. I forget. I think Jay Will is the forward, like the wing, but JAL in the box score, Jal Will or Jail. I don't know. He's the big guy. It's really tough to pay attention to. I mean, to follow. Top Shot Common Man says OKC will be in the play-in game. That's interesting. That's interesting. I hope so. I like the Thunder. I think there's a couple of teams though. I like the Blazers, which we'll talk about later, and the Wolves and the Jazz. Like two of those three need to like fall down. Sixers should be in the dictionary under mid. That's good. Arciak, if he was still here, would not like that. But anyways, good win for the Thunder. Shout out to Imagine Dragons. Celtics Nets. Celtics beat the Nets 109-89. It's fun. So that ended up being a 20-point game. Wait, what is it? 19. No, it's 20-point game. It felt closer than it was. It didn't really get out of hand until like late in the third, early in the fourth quarter. Kyrie took a lot of shots and missed a bunch. I think he went 9 for 24. So he was okay. Ben Simmons too, like Ben Simmons, man, he was doing a great job facilitating the offense early on. I think he had something crazy like 7 assists or 9 assists in the first quarter, something wild like that. But he's just not. I mean, you just don't have to guard him. You really don't. And I'm sure everybody saw the clip of him like going in for the layup. And like Stan Van, was it Stan Van or who was doing the first game? They pointed out basically like even if he missed the layup there, Nick Claxton is right there for the putback, and it's just. I don't know. It's tough to watch. Jay Blaze says, I know Ben has been more aggressive to the basket. The Celtics adjusting in the second half, and his foul trouble basically made him unplayable in the fourth. Yeah. Well, and this is going to be an issue for the Nets moving forward without KD, because I'm not the first person to say this, but they rely pretty heavily on Ben Simmons and Nicholas Claxton for their defense, right? However, they're not a zero on offense, but they don't provide any sort of scoring threat, right? If you're trying to defend the Nets and you get those two guys, you have to you can adjust. You can adjust and game plan around and be like, okay, let's stick to Joe Harris and Seth Curry and Kyrie and kind of force them to beat us. And that's kind of what happened in the second half. But you are right. He did hit that foul trouble. He had 10 assists and 0 turnovers. He made all the role players so much better. Well, and to that point, it was nice to see Joe Harris hit some shots. I feel like Joey Buckets hadn't hit a shot in a while. He had 18 and 5. Who else? Kyrie, I already said he had like 24 points, but it was on 24 shots, I think. And then TJ had 20 off the bench. TJ looked really good. He came in and hit like 4 or 5 shots right away. TJ looked good. What was the other thing I was going to say? There was something else about the Nets, and now I'm blanking. But anyways, Tatum had 20, 11, and 5. Marcus Smart returned. He had 16, 10, and 6. Derek White had 15 and 7. Brogdon had 16 and 5. So, obviously the Nets were without KD. The Celtics last night rested Jaylen Brown and Al Horford. Jay Blaze says, I'm biased too because Cam Thomas is going to have to play because he's the only other guy that can create his own shot. Yeah, free Cam Thomas, please. But I thought this was an impressive Celtics win, and it's because this was like a scheduled loss, right? It was their third game in 4 nights. They played 3 games this week. Granted, I think one was against the Spurs? But the other one was against the Pelicans, and then the Nets. And the Nets are still tough without KD. And they were without KD, but the Celtics are also without JB and Big Al. So I thought this was a pretty impressive win for them because especially as the first quarter started, I was like, man, the Celtics are going to lose this game. The Nets seemed a little hungrier. It was the only game the Nets had this week. The Nets are at home. But then I remembered it's Barclays Center, and Barclays Center has no vibe. No vibe. Except for like the 10 seconds where everyone's like, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Which is fun. But I wish the city loved them more. But anyways, good win for the Celtics. I thought they were going to lose that game, TBH, especially when they announced who they were sitting. Heat Bucks, speaking of resting guys, Giannis took the night off. Heat won 108-102. Dude, Oladipo, man, this is like, let's give him comeback player of the year or most improved or whatever the hell we call it. But 14, 8, and 8 off the bench. Truly their only bench right now. He is their bench unit, and Heroes missed some time. But, got a dip in school. We'll be back for live. Hell yeah, Josh. Thanks for tuning in. Depot has been keeping him afloat, man. I love to see it. He's like the second unit now, especially with no Duncan Robinson. I think Hero's missing some time, like we said. So good for Depot. He's stringing together a handful of games. Butler at 17 and 11. Bam. Welcome back, Bam. 24 and 12. Gabe Vincent. It was the Gabe Vincent show. 28 and 6. Javon Carter for the Bucks because he got more time because there's no Giannis. He had 18 and 4. Drew Holiday 24, 11 and 6. Bobby Portis 12 and 7. Listen, I know they were without Giannis or without Middleton, whatever. You got to win those games, and they did. So congrats to Miami, Milwaukee. You listen. There's been a lot of chatter about stuff not being great over there. I still think it's fine. They just need Middleton back, and I feel like I believe the report was Middleton's in the G League right now, getting some reps in. So who knows, man? We got to do a mental health check, guys. Sorry, we got a coughing situation happen over here. Let's do this one. We can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, I think it changes you. Anyways, good W for the Miami skeet. Raps Hornets. The Raptors beat the Hornets back-to-back games, 124-114. Thank God. I don't want to hear another podcast about what's going on in Toronto. They beat the teams they're supposed to win. Hopefully they string together some stuff. Fred VanVleet and Siakam still allergic to having a good game together. Like, it's got to be one or the other. On the Hornets side of things, I wanted to talk for a second about LaMelo. So LaMelo, man, what is going on? Excuse me. 32 and 7 last night for LaMelo. So I noticed I shared a clip. LaMelo hit like an angle 3, and then like a possession later hit a logo 3. And I was like, yeah, it does seem like LaMelo's been shooting more threes. I went without looking it up. How many threes do you think LaMelo's taking a game right now? Put it in the chat. How many threes that he's attempting, not making? How many threes do you think he's attempting a game? Because I was pretty surprised by this. Don't look it up either. Don't be a cheater. I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are on this because I was very surprised by it. All right, 9, 13. Okay, you guys are pretty close. 8, 11. Stan says 9, 8, 19. Brody, you're wilding. He's taking 11 threes a game, though. 11 threes a game, and he's shooting 38% from 3. I was pretty impressed by that. That was both more threes a game than I thought, and he's making more than I thought too. And like on his average, like in previous seasons, right? He's taken his rookie year, he took 5 threes a game. His second year, he took 7 threes a game. This year, he's taken 11, and his field goal percentage from 3 has gone. Well, this year, so it started at 35%, then 39%, now 38%. But the fact that he's taken 4 more a game from that's pretty nuts. Put him in the 3-point contest, baby. Let LaMelo cook. Again, he's the only bright spot for Charlotte right now. And yeah, his 3-point prop is always low. Yeah, and he's taking 11, man. That's a lot that's chucking. That is chucking. His numbers are pretty good this season, been crushing fantasy. Yeah, so on the year, right? He missed the first couple of weeks, so I don't think anybody wants to talk about it. But he's let's see, what's on the year? He's averaging 23 points. He's averaging 5 rebounds, almost 9 assists, a little over a steal, and a half a block a game. And his shooting splits are pretty good. He's shooting 47% from 2, 38% from 3. I mean, that team sucks, but whatever, dude. Good for Terry. Good for LaMelo. Scary Terry at 21 and 5. We talked about it yesterday, and we're gonna talk. We'll go over to Underdog in a little bit, but Plum Dog Millionaire. Plumlee at 16 and 15. Scotty Barnes, he had a nice game, 21, 9 and 7. Again, Fred VanVleet did nothing. And then Pascal Siakam at 35 and 7. Brent says the intro ad was for Mud Water Coffee replacement. Are you trying to cancel Coffee Mike? Wow, that's tough. No, I got to adjust that. Evo says I got 250 points in Common Champ with Miles Turner DNP if he had played it. That's tough, man. I'm sorry. Good run, though. All right, let's keep it moving. We have 2 games left. Mavs, Lakers, 119-115. The Mavs won. This one into double OT. So I don't know how many people watched this game live or watched the highlights. So, right, there's 5 seconds left. Luka crosses up Dennis Schroeder, hits a step back 3, ties the game. Then on the last possession of the game, I think this was in regulation, not overtime. I think it was Troy Brown Jr. takes a three. Tim Hardaway Jr. closes out on him. Again, I had just woken up because people were going upstairs. That was a foul, right? Did they just miss that back? Like, I couldn't tell if it was like way after the release, so it wasn't a foul. But I mean, I thought that was a foul. It was regulation because I remember something happened at the end of the first overtime too. But anyway, so the game goes to overtime. Again, the Lakers have a 3-point lead. Again, Luka hits a step back three to tie it. They go into a second overtime, and in the second overtime, they not run away with it, but they get the dub. They get the dub. So good win for the Mavs. No, it was a high five. It was a high five. Okay. But it was funny at the end of the first overtime. Christian Wood like blocked his shit out of LeBron. And LeBron was like really mad. And he was saying that was a foul. It was a foul. And they showed the replay like 35 times. And at no point was there any sort of contact. So I don't want to hear anybody complain about that one. I'd listen to the end of the regulation one, but the overtime one, absolutely not. Anyways, Christian Wood had a really good game. And he had 24 points, 14 boards, 6 assists. He also had 5 blocks. 5 blocks. I actually don't think they credit him with the overtime one. So I feel like it might be 6 blocks. Luka with another stellar triple-double. He had 35, 14, and 3. Spencer Dinwiddie only had 17. But if you guys watch the overtime, 2 monster dunks, 2 monster throwdowns by Dinwiddie. You just forget that he can get up. So a couple throwdowns. THJ had 22. LeBron had 24, 16, and 9 and played like 47 minutes. Russ had a really good game too, 28, 7, and 5. It's so funny, man, when the Mavericks I mean, obviously, like Luka is incredible, but it's so much of this team relies on 3-point shooting. I mean, that could be the case for like any team in the league, but like it's so clear. Like in that first overtime, they go double Luka. Luka swings it to Dinwiddie, who swings it to a wide open either THJ or Reggie Bullock. And if those two guys are hitting threes, Mavericks are going to win games, and if they're not, they're going to lose games. And that's what you saw in the overtime. That's why they like fell down like 3 or 5 points or whatever it was, because they were just missing those wide open shots early on. So it's either take like if you're Luka, you're like, okay, do I get Tim Hardaway Jr. a wide open shot, or do I have to take a contested shot? Like, what is the better shot there? And it's just so clear that's what their offense is right now. So I don't know. Maybe it'll change as they get some of their guys back. Maybe they make a move in the deadline. But yeah, THD. And I mean, he had 22 points last night, but it felt like he should have had 40. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Common Man has some more thoughts on it, or Hamey, because I know you guys are big Mavs fans. That's just kind of, I mean, I don't think that's like a big brain take. That's just what I've been seeing from it. Anyways, we had one game left of the night, and this one got overlooked because of what was happening there. Cavs won 119-113. Donovan Mitchell went goblin mode in the fourth quarter and like made sure that the Cavs got that W. He had 26, 5, and 5. Darius Garland turning the assist god right now. He had 20 and 10. Jared Allen had a really good game. I know everybody was panicking about that because I think he left the last game early. He had 24, 10, and 6. Evan Mobley, 17 and 8. Dame dropped 50. Dame dropped the 50 piece. I feel like no one's talking about it because of like the Luka game against the Lakers, and it wasn't on national TV. But Dame, yeah, 50 and an L. And then Jeremy Grant with 22. And that was last night's action, baby. Sneeps, yeah, Shams reported, why did the Lakers want Myers Leonard? I think one of the most disgusting things that happened yesterday. So one of the most like Shams tweets that out, and then there's a follow-up tweet that was like, yeah, he's been rehabbing his ankle for the last year. That's what's kept him out of the league. That's what's kept him out of the league. There's no dialogue around like, oh yeah, remember when he's playing that video game and then was dropping some anti-Semitic, like, why aren't we allowed to say that part? You're telling me the only reason Myers Leonard, who was like a fringe rotation player, the only reason he's not in the league is because of that? What are we doing? I also tweeted out too that like, what did I say? I was like, oh no, this move actually makes sense for the Lakers because they were becoming somewhat likable. Yeah, exactly, Matthew Harrison. It's incredible. This is a great take too. Lakers want to recruit Kyrie by getting Leonard. That's great, Stan. I just like, listen, man, if you're gonna just be truthful with your reporting. Don't be Woj, Shams. Don't turn into Woj. Be truthful with that. Also, like, who are you? You're protecting Myers Leonard? Why? Why does Myers Leonard need? Forget it. Anyways, I thought that was lame. Let's go take a look at the standings. And then I want to go over to Underdog too, just in case For those that weren't here yesterday, we did a draft here towards the end of the show, which we'll probably do again too, because I like closing the show with that. But we did all right yesterday. All right, let's see what are the standings looking like after last night's action. We can take a look at tonight's action as well, since it's Friday. All right. Celtics now have a 3-game lead over the Nets with at 31-12. They are 8-2 in their last 10, winners of 5 in a row. So beat down boys, be cooking. Then you get the Nets right behind them after dropping that game last night. They go to 27-14, half-game lead over the Bucks, who also took an L last night. Cavs gain a game on the two dudes in front of them, so they're only 4 games out of first, half game behind the Bucks, 1 game behind the Nets. Sixers a game behind them. So Cavs and Celtics really made some aggressive movement last night because of the Nets, Bucks, and Sixers going down. Bing Bong Knicks still holding on to the 6th seed. Indiana Pacers, it sounds like Halliburton might only miss 2 weeks, which was pretty surprising. I thought it was going to be closer to a month or like 6 weeks. And if it's only 2 weeks, that's good news for the Pacers, because I'm fascinated to see how the Pacers fare this weekend without Halliburton, who is really like the engine that keeps that thing running. Heat right there in the 8th seed there, a half game, but only a half game behind both the Knicks and the Pacers. Heat are now 7-3 in their last 10. They be cooking. Hawks and Bulls right down here. Raptors now, like, listen, for all the crap we're throwing on the Raptors, they're technically tied with the Bulls right now for that 10 seed. Wizards a game behind them, and then it goes Magic, Pistons, and Hornets. Down here, Nuggets and Grizzlies, they're separating too, as we already said, 3.5. With the Mavs win, they are in the 4 seed still, and a game and a half behind Pellies, half game ahead of the Kings, and then it's Clip City, Suns, Warriors, Jazz, Wolves. All of those guys were off last night. Blazers now officially fallen out, right? So they're in the 11 seed. Thunder, only, like as Top Shot Comment was saying, Thunder and Lakers, same record, right? 19-23. Both of these teams are only a game out of really the 9 seed. And then you get the Spurs and the Rockets right there. So that's kind of fun. People are saying, is it Nembhard season? Yeah. I think Nembhard, McConnell, all of those guys. Top Shot Tesla in the house saying the Raps have the easiest schedule in the league the remainder of the season. Yeah, that is good news. I mean, they still need to figure out what's going on with Frederick. It's good. Sorry, I unplugged my headphones. Shiggin says, remember in the beginning of the year, it seemed like there were too many good teams. Doesn't feel like there's too many bad. Doesn't it now feel like there's too many bad teams? So I think there's a lot of mid teams, if you will. I think in the East, it's a lot of good teams. Like when you look at the East, I think from like the Heat up, right? The Heat up is all of these teams are very solid. And you can make a case, well, maybe the Pacers drop down, the Hawks get better, the Raptors get better. Like you can make that case. But I think the top 8 in the East are pretty solid. Like if you told me the Celtics go to the finals, the Nets go to the finals, the Bucks go to the finals, even the Cavs and Sixers, I'd say the Eastern Conference Finals, but all of those teams are really solid. In the West, I do think like Nuggets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavs are all pretty good. And I think the idea of the Clippers and the Warriors and maybe a healthy Suns are pretty good. Kings seem solid. So I don't know. I don't think that there's too many bad teams, but I'll be fascinated to see how the trade deadline affects things, because right now it feels like everybody's still trying to get in there. Is a trade still a possibility? I don't think so, Santa's boy. I didn't like that. Just seems they mortgaged their future to go get DeJounte Murray to like play with Trae Young to shore up some of Trae's inefficiencies on the defensive end and even like provide another ball handler. It would be pretty wild to punt on that right away. I mean, he does seem to be like just terrible to be around and be on a team with, but I would be surprised if they moved off him. I think I don't think we're seeing any superstars get moved mid-season. I mean, I think it's like some of the best players that are going to get moves are like maybe PJ Washington, Jakob Poeltl, Bojan Bogdanovic. Like that's the cream of the crop that people are going to overpay for a role player. But they can affect winning. So that's what I would expect, moves like that. The more I watch teams like the Kings, the more I think they are ISO ball frauds in the big picture. No, I disagree with that with the Kings. I think the Kings, because the Kings have like the Kings have a really solid offense. I don't think it's just like straight ISO ball. I think they are like Nuggets light, and with their Fox and Sabonis, I don't think they can go like make a run to the Western Conference Finals, but I think they're going to be a tough out in the first round. Like if we get Kings Mavs in the first round, I think that would be fun. I think the Mavs would win, but I think it would be fun. All right, let me see. What do we got here for the schedule for tonight? I know we looked at earlier in the week, but I don't remember what we got on Friday. I love the Kings, but Fox has to go off versus good teams. Yeah, he's just so fast, man. That's the thing. All right, on Friday, so that's tonight. We got Pellies and Pistons, Hawks and Pacers, Knicks and Washington, Golden State and San Antonio. Hey guys, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. So Golden State and San Antonio is on ESPN. They're playing at the Alamo Dome. I do not give a shit about this. There's been a lot of there's gonna be the most tickets sold in the history of a basketball game because we're playing it in a massive place. Well, I don't care. I don't. Like, so sick. There's going to be a lot of people watching Doug McDermott live. I do not care. And everyone, like, there's been so many stories about this. I do not care. Like whatever. Who cares? Steve says this Johnny Davis played it all for the Wizards. One of my mom's friends was his middle school teacher and said he was a major asshole. He played a little bit in the first like couple weeks. I think he's in the G League, or he's just not getting any minutes in rotation. He's been pretty bad. Anyways, I don't care about that game. I mean, I care about the game. I don't care that all these people are going to the game. Like, whatever. Anyways, Bulls, Thunder. Wolves, Suns might be kind of fun. Orlando, Utah, I don't care. Denver, Clippers could be fun. If Paul George and Kawhi and everybody's active, I think that game would be pretty fun. Zubats versus Jokic. And then Sacktown and Houston playing their second game this weekend. This weekend, though, Saturday, we have Milwaukee, Miami. That's like the one national TV game. And then I don't really care about the rest of these games. And then on Sunday, no. I don't care about any of these games. Philly, LA, Philly Lakers to close off the weekend might be kind of fun. So there you go. All right, let's see. That Top Shot moment from the Alamo is going to be crazy. Shiggin says, that's my claim to fame. I'm a Guinness World Record holder. I'm a member of the largest crowd in the history of a basketball at Cowboy Stadium for the All-Star game. This ruins it for me. Dude, I'm sorry, Shiggins, man. I'm sorry. Update your LinkedIn, dude. You got to take that off. Garen says they throw that many people in the Final Four each year. Sight lines are terrible for big venues. Yeah, I have no interest. Paul says, I feel like 3 weeks ago we were saying Luka was good but had no help, so the Mavs won't be able to hack it. What happened? Just next level Luka? Yeah, that's it. It's just next level Luka. None of their role play. I mean, Christian Woodson playing pretty well, but none of their, like, that's it. Luka's just been out of control, man. He's been averaging like 35. What is his points per game average right now? Actually, let me check that, because I think he's probably right. Is he probably in the 35? No, maybe not 35. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say 33. Nope, 34.3. So Luka is leading points per game in 34.3. He's also leading total points, 1,336. So it's Luka's at here. I'll actually share screen. We can look at this together. Yeah, also Rubio. Yeah, Rubio was back. That was great to watch. All right, so Luka's averaging. Oh, where is it? Come on. All right. It's too many ads. What? We're sorting by points per game. Can't we at least get it in the same thing? All right, so Luka's averaging 34. Embiid basically a full point behind him. Giannis at 31. SGA. Wow, look at this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. Nice. Over 30 points a game, with KD and Donovan Mitchell and LeBron James all at 29 right behind him. That's, man, the scoring is out of control. Wait, hold on. The rest of the Mavs are the most overshaded players? What do you mean overshaded? Do you disagree? Do you think Tim Hardaway Jr. and Reggie Bullock have been playing well this year? I do agree. You do need Josh Green. I think Josh Green is going to make a huge difference. I think that'll make a huge difference. Well, I need more coffee. DJ Local. Shout out DJ Local. Says, why? Remember the Alamodome game doesn't have the same ring to it. Barclays was asking, why is Terrence Davis popping? So Kevin Huerter missed the last couple of games due to an illness. So I think that's probably why, but we don't know. I don't think we know if he's going to miss this game yet. So I don't know. All right. I wanted to go over to Underdog here for a second. Underdog, which, by the way, if you haven't signed up for Underdog, go to Underdog Fantasy, and when you deposit, use promo code HOLD, HOLD, and that'll give you a 100% deposit bonus. But I'm going to come over here. Let's go over to results in the drafts here. NBA. So last night I entered 4 lineups. So they were all $5 each. We all cashed, which was fun. Excuse me. So risk 20, got 70 back. But here's the one we did on stream. The one we did on stream was our best talking one. Now, what was crazy about this is, if you remember, we got Luka with the second pick. And then at the turn, we took LaMelo and Dame. Terry Rozier disappointed. That was the one that like really hurt. And then Scotty Barnes and Plumlee. But we crushed last night. We crushed last night in this one. Wait, Hamey says THT is hot and cold, but it's convenient for everyone to act like Dinwiddie and the lot are G League players. No, I think your Dallas bias is shown a little bit. I think your Dallas bias is shown. I think Reggie Bullock has really he's really been cold. And like you said, THJ's been hot and cold. And Christian Wood has been solid, but Dwight Powell is useless. I think we would all agree Dwight Powell is useless. You don't have Maxi Kleber. You don't have DFS. So you are playing with a lot of like G League guys. I do think when Josh Green comes back, though, that's going to be great. I think that makes a huge difference. Hopefully Kleber can come back soon. But I think so much of the Mavericks success relies on people knocking down threes. But Dinwiddie and Wood have been good. They've been solid. But anyways, yeah, we'll do another one of these drafts here in a little bit, actually. Let's see, what do they have for drafts today? Fast break Friday. Yeah, we'll do fast break Friday in a little bit. We will do that. Since we've got some time, Actually, you know what? Let's do it now. Because I got to go out a little bit. Pinson, Wright, and Hardy are getting minutes. G League quality. Yeah. Although I'm excited about Jay. I am excited about Jaden Hardy. I mean, I don't think he's going to be useful this year as like a winning player, but I do like Jaden Hardy quite a bit. I do. I just think they need more consistent shooting. Like if you put Boyan on that team, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah, if you want to join this, go ahead. I'll sign up for Underdog. We're gonna do a $5 draft here. I really have been having fun with these, and like full disclosure, I haven't done. Oh, I was the last one to get in there. Sorry. All right, so you just said one of your starters though. Bullock is trash. Powell's useless, but literally all I hear Luka plus the worst team in the league. You are right, it's threes, but we are more. Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If like they weren't shooting these trash, like if you had better if you didn't have the trash around Luka, you'd have guys hitting wide open threes. I think we're kind of saying the same thing. Hold on. What did I just get a notification about? Oh yeah, my meeting is in. Oh yeah. So we're gonna draft this bad boy. And I don't know if you guys have questions. Pop them in there. We get the second overall pick here. We get the second overall pick. I think we're gonna go SGA, even though it's a back-to-back. Makes me a little nervous with them on a back-to-back, but I'm gonna go with it. Okay, this is your dude. You're a Suns fan. You're a Suns fan. Your Mavs takes do not count, chicken frig. You're still mad that you guys blew that lead and then lost by 4,000. Hey, just a reminder too. I'm gonna drop a link to our oversubscribe thing too. Please, I know it sounds like please. Oh, SGA, let's take. Oh no, SGA went first. What are you doing? People are high. Oh, because he's questionable. I don't care. I'll take Jokic questionable and take that shot. I'm sharing a link to oversubscribe here. So go ahead, take a look at it. We are doing our best to raise some funding so that we can pay an editor full time to continue our growth. And instead of you just putting into a Patreon and getting like, hey, a video and a high five, you can actually like make some money with us because it's more of an investment than anything else. And then after our times up a percentage of all of our revenue, not just our profits, but all of the revenue we come in from brand management deals, from streaming, from AdSense, from anything basically that I book while doing this goes back into the big pool, and a percentage of that goes back to you guys when our deal is done. So please take a look at go take a look at that because it helps us out, please. Even if you're not super interested, just filling it out is helpful for me. I think like if you are into these drafts, by the way, I think there is an edge to taking shots on questionable guys like this. Like we saw it last night where Dame was dropping pretty far. I was getting Dame in round 3 in these drafts, and because he had the Q tag on. And like, hey, if you're wrong, you're wrong. But if you're right, all of a sudden you're getting somebody that should have gone at the end of the first round in the third round, and you have a huge advantage. It can backfire, though, like it happened with Paul George. People were taking Paul George pretty early. Thank you, Jump Shooty. See, Jump Shoot filled it out. Took less than 2 minutes. All right, let's see. What are we going to do here with the second pick? I like the Kings against Houston. So if De'Aaron Fox probably won't be there, but I would take one of these guys. Also, oh man, if I had gotten SGA, I would have liked Levine there because Levine is going to take 50 shots against OKC, right? But he's going to get the Dort report on him. All right, Sam Green took Levine. So I don't know. I think if one of CJ or Fox are left for me, I would take that. I might go back to the well on DeJounte Murray too. Top Shot says my best ball was not profitable. But I did hit a couple three-way player parlays last night. There you go. Congrats on the three-way, Common Man. Hey, just a reminder too, 4 o'clock, Dustin returns. We're going to be live at 4 and then again at 5:30. And then I'm never going to talk to you guys again or until Monday. But this is exciting, guys. We're at 7,400 subs. It's pretty cool. All right. I really wanted De'Aaron Fox here. So we got Lauri Markkanen against Utah. I'm going to bank on Trae Young being out. Oh, Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. No, I'm going to bank on Trae Young being out again. We're going to take DeJounte. And then I'm honestly probably going to take Porzingis next if he's still there. And we're just going to take shots. We're going to do all these questionable guys. We're going to go straight upside. Because you want to know why? I find these contests, like you can play these safe and you can win. You can double up your money pretty easily. Not easily, but I like the idea of just shooting for the moon here because all of the money is in first place, right? So let's cook. We get a lot of questionables there. A lot of questionables. Our whole team's questionable. Jokic, Murray, Porzingis. I like this start. It's BDE. Absolutely, Shiggins. Absolutely. What are you guys up to this weekend? Anybody doing anything fun? I'm going to watch. Kelsey has to work all weekend. I feel so bad for my wife. She's going to work a lot this weekend. I feel bad for her. But because of that, I'm going to sit on my ass and I'm going to watch football all weekend long. I did a lot of these underdog drafts for football, but for the entire playoffs. So that'll be fun. I don't think I'm going to be playing DFS. I actually think like my brain has felt so nice not playing DFS lately and just grinding these things. Ooh, Borland's going to the Wolves Cavs tomorrow. Borland, do we think Ant-Man is going to be back in time? Do we think he's playing tonight? Oh, man. Jalen Green. Jalen Green's a good pick here. What's everyone else doing, though? Borland's the only one brave enough to talk to me about what he's doing this weekend. What are you guys up to? Oh, man. Smoking up some ribs on the smoker. Veronica, that sounds awesome. Veronica, we need to make sure you come out to Vegas for Summer League this year, I think. Which, by the way, they did announce the dates. I know we've kind of talked about this, July 6th to the 16th. July 6th to the 16th is Vegas. I'm going to be out there that first weekend. So I don't care what Top Shot is doing. We're going to go the first weekend. We're going to have a nice little private team holding event. It's going to be very exciting. So mark your calendars. Dustin and I are going to talk about it today too. Dustin is going to March Madness, and I think he's talked to me going out there to March Madness. So I don't know should we all go to Vegas for March Madness? What do we think? Guessing Ant will be back for both games. There we go. Son and I will be slugs and watch football. Hell yeah, Milo. Sit on your ass while your wife makes cash. The American dream. I know she's too supportive. Get a kids indoor soccer tournament. That's fun. Replacing a washer dryer at a rental that's 90 minutes away. That sucks, Shiggins. That does not sound fun. Hold on. I'm going to go back to making my picks here. So somehow Jalen Green is still. I think I'm taking Jalen Green now. All right. So Klay Thompson against San Antonio. Actually, I'm going to take Wendell Carter against Wendell Carter Jr. has been playing great. Utah matchup. I think people still think Utah's good at defense. I'm going to take Wendell Carter there. And then I think if Jamal Murray falls to me. Nope, he doesn't. Okay, so that takes care of that. Miles Turner's questionable, so I'm probably not going to mess with that. Jonas Valanciunas against Detroit might be fun. But I know where I'm going next. We're going to go to Shingin. Quiet one. There we go. No soccer match scheduled. There you go. Willis said he's got an indoor water park, aka human petri dish. There we go. Playing golf, man. I want to play golf so bad right now. Wait, who did I just say I was taking? Şengün. Let's get Şengün on the squad. What do I have? One pick left. Gonna take a shroom journey tomorrow instead of watching Jags Chargers. Wow, there you go. What like I'm book. Get after it. Watching the Giants game on Sunday. D'Lo looks good. D'Lo has looked okay, especially if Ant-Man's gone. Garrett says his oldest has 2 Y basketball games, then taking the kids to an indoor water park with their cousins. Action-packed. That is action-packed. I'll have to watch Man City and United. That's exciting, though. Look at you guys. A lot of family stuff, a lot of sports-related stuff. We love to see it, guys. We love to see it. I'm going to still be grinding these YouTube shorts. These YouTube shorts have been a cheat code, honestly, which has been fun. It's been fun. I've been enjoying them too. And Veronica has been crushing a lot of those shorts too. So if you haven't been checking them out and engaging them. All right, we're back over 7,400 subs. Hell yeah. To the moon. 7,500 next. I think I told you guys this. There's this this is how my like competitive brain works. There's this this site. It's called Social Blade. It basically allows you to like check like statistics of your channel and like project. They give you like future projections. And I think I told you guys this, but it said I was supposed to hit 8K by March 8th, and then like 10K in like late June. And I was like, bet. I was like, I disagree. And like those competitive juices are flowing. So it's been fun to be just smashing like 100 plus subs a week. Anybody watching anything good these days? I watched the Bernie Madoff doc, and then I watched another doc too. I don't know why. I really like sort of watching documentaries, like kind of checking out. There's this one about this like homeless viral sensation that happened, this like axe wielding dude. And that was kind of weird. I can't believe I watched that whole one, but that one was kind of weird. I don't know. What are you guys watching? We have an episode of Abbott Elementary. Last Chance U is really great. Last Chance is really great. Still watching Bleach when I have time. There you go. Kai Smash. Yeah, it was weird, man. I got to tell you, that one was uncomfortable. I didn't really like it. Also, that reporter looked like Nomar. Ming says Team Hold is growing. I remember when it was less than 1K. That's what I'm talking about, Ming. To the moon, baby. I know. That's why we were doing that oversubscribe thing, because I do think there's a chance we're going to pump our own bags here for a second. I really think there's like, with the pace that we've been growing as much as we've been growing while it's been like I'm doing most of the stuff, right? And if we had the opportunity to, get some help, and like, shore up some of the inefficiencies, get to do some like more man on the streets, real life stuff, fire off these shorts a lot more. I feel like we could really moonshot, baby. Like, I just feel like there's a shot for us to really grow that I'm excited about. I'm going to go Keldon Johnson next, because I don't, right? Keldon Johnson. Anybody else that I like down here? Last pick of the draft. Nah, Norman Powell. Let's hope Paul George sits again. Let's go Norman Powell. Let's go off the board. But I do think that is pretty exciting that we have that we're just moving as fast as we are. It's been exciting. Just finished Manifest. All right, Brody. Garen says, is the Madoff doc good? Thought about starting it last night, but figured it would just piss me off. Yeah, it is a bummer. It is a bummer, and it just gets more. It's just the thing I didn't understand, because I knew what happened. I knew like when it was announced and stuff. I remember it being in the news, but I don't think I ever like took the time to do a deep dive on it. I didn't realize he just like straight up wasn't doing trades. So he was like collecting all this money to do trades and then just like wasn't doing them. And that to me is like crazy. Like, there's no world in which they like never gets. I don't know. It was interesting though. Last of Us starts this weekend, first series I will watch as it comes out in a long time. Yeah, I am excited about that. Give me some Pedro Pascal right into the veins, baby. If anyone hasn't seen it, watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie when DeAndre Jordan slips on pizza. I did not know that. How did ATL get the potential Bills KC game? Was hoping it would be Chicago. My guess is they just picked an indoor location. I also wonder too, like, well, I guess that wouldn't be the case. Because I was also thinking like how many of these locations like already have stuff planned, right? Like concerts and whatnot. But you're probably not having outdoor concerts in February in Chicago or in January in Chicago. Chicago. But I imagine they just picked a dome, right? Like, I'm sure Detroit was on the list, like Ford Field. Here's my hot take. It's not even going to matter. Bengals, baby. Actually, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? All right, gang. Anything else? You guys have anything else? Anything else you want to chit chat about? I'll hang for a couple more minutes, then we got to wrap up. I got a meeting. I just realized the dog got up and left. Drive to Survive's coming back next month. Hell yes. I'm so excited about Drive to Survive. Which, by the way, our man James, I think we're going to get James back on the show Monday night. I think we're going to put together a special Monday night stream to do a check-in on all things F1 and just kind of see what's going on. I think we just need to give James his own time slot. I think that's what we need to do. I don't know what happened. I put the hoodie on in. I was ready to just sleep. Indy turned down the AFC Championship. Good, dude. Indy, man. I've been to Indianapolis one time, and it was how old was I? It was right before it was probably like 6 months before I moved to New York. So I was 29, and this is when I was still working in higher education, and I went there for a conference. And I had dated this woman for a long time, like 4 or 5 years. before my wife, and we were pretty serious. We were pretty serious, and she also worked in higher education. We broke up. This conference was in March, I think, and we broke up in December, right? And so I get to the conference, and I took like a really early flight, and I couldn't check into my hotel yet. They also wouldn't even let me like keep my shit at the hotel. It was really weird. So I got bad vibes with Indianapolis. So I was like, all right, I can't check into the hotel. What I'll go do is go check into the conference, get all my stuff, because I was speaking at the conference too. So I was like, let me get all my stuff, let me be ready to go. And then I come back. Oh no, I mean, I'm sorry. I check in and I turn around, and then it's like literally the first person I saw. It was with all of her friends who like I had met, obviously. And I was like, man, that was my first introduction to Indianapolis. I was overtired. I looked like dog shit. I couldn't check into my hotel. And then that was the first person I saw. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably never go to Indianapolis again. I'm out on Indy. Although I did do stand up in Indy when I was out there for that. God damn. People just beeping. Anyways, I did do that while I was out there. I'm confident they didn't have plans for a Bears playoff game. That is true, Milo. That is true. Indy has a huge volleyball tournament, so no hotel rooms available. I love Indy. That's so funny that you love Indy. I don't know, maybe because I've got that East Coast city bias, man. I'm pretty particular. It's weird. I'm both particular on cities, but I'm like very open to different types of cities. I really enjoy living in that city environment. And it didn't do it for me. There wasn't a lot going on. But hey, to each their own, to each their own. Nothing's worse than Tampa, though. We'll die on that hill. Tampa is a garbage city. Indy is nice for walkable between bars and stadiums. Big Ten basketball tourney there is pretty good too. Dude, all right, hold on. Oh, guys, have you guys been to New York? Have you been to Boston? Have you been to Chicago? I mean, all of those are walkable. Or unless, do you mean like the entire city is walkable? Is that what you mean? You like to be able to walk the entire? Hey, listen, if you like being able to walk the entire city, let me introduce you to towns. St. Louis is worse than Tampa, and that's saying a lot. Okay. I don't think. I've never been to St. Louis, but I will go to St. Louis just so I can have this conversation. Tampa is trash. It has the second most strip clubs in the U.S., though. Yeah, who cares, dude? No, Tampa is garbage. It is like it's basically every chained restaurant you can think of on one shitty street. South Tampa was kind of cool, but like it just was the worst. And then you had to drive everywhere. Yeah, 3DH. Listen, you want to go to Tampa for a weekend? Go ahead, have a great time. To live in Tampa, thumbs down. I'm out. I was there for 2 years. It was the worst. It was the worst. And you know what it was? I thought I was too biased because I was from Boston. I lived in Boston for the last 4 years. Then I moved to Tampa. And I was like, maybe I just love Boston so much. I miss being home that it's like comparing Tampa to Boston is not fair. But then I started doing comedy, and I went to Atlanta, and I went to Vancouver, and I went to Seattle, and I went to Chicago, and I went to Detroit, and I went to like, where else did I go for comedy? Basically everywhere. I went to DC. I went everywhere. Tampa sucks. Yeah, St. Pete is nice. St. Pete is nice. You want to know what the most tilting thing about the entire experience? The Tampa Bay Rays played in St. Pete, and the Tampa Bay Lightning played in Tampa at the St. Pete Times Forum. USF basketball kept their matchup versus Houston close. Yeah, I did become like a USF basketball super fan. Yes, worse than Detroit. Yes. Tampa sucked. It really did. Also, you could just smoke in all of the bars. Oh, it's gross. And that's when I was young, too. I was like young and fun. I should have liked everything, and I still was like, I don't like Tampa. I went back there one time. For a comedy like festival. And I remember I performed a couple of nights, and I still had a couple of friends that lived down there. And it was good to see them. But it's truly like the second I got in the airport, I was like, "Oh, this place!" And then I went out to a few spots, and I was like, "Man, the one cool thing they had this place." Kelsey actually went there for a bachelorette party recently. They have this bar called McDitton's, and McDitton's in South Tampa. I think it was like relatively new when I was down there because this was like 2007, 2009. And it was $5 to get into the door. Like $5 just to get in. This was on Fridays for happy hour. And happy hour was 4 to 9. It was a 5-hour happy hour. $5 to get in, and then $5 at the bar, and then you never spent another dollar. Like, what? What? That's crazy. That is crazy. And that still exists. Kelsey went to it when she was there for the bachelorette party. That was like my only recommendation. That in Busch Gardens. Yeah. I also, listen, it was a weird time in my life. I was down there for school, for grad school. I was an angry elf. All right, everybody, we're going to call it there. Listen, last call, not last call. This oversubscribe thing is going to be open for another week or so, or a little less than a week. Go ahead and fill that out if you haven't done it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Again, 4 o'clock, Dustin's going to be here, 5:30, live before lock. If you're not here for those, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Appreciate everyone being here throughout the entire week, throughout all the fun announcements and all of the drama. But if you took anything from today, just remember Tampa is garbage.